Welcome to John's Tarot. Welcome to you all this week to a new chapter of John's Tarot. I'm just going to talk briefly today and possibly do a little reading. I'm here to do free readings. If anybody would like a free reading, let me know. I do weekly on Twitch, 10 o'clock on Fridays. So for free readings, that's how we're going to do it. If you are viewing this on YouTube and you would like a free reading, leave let's say it's a general reading, a general question. Leave a question in the comments box on YouTube. If you'd like something, a personal free reading, go out to JohnsTarot.com or JohnsTarot.net. They're just crappy little home-built website, and contact me from there, and we'll set something up for you. I'll even do a free reading for you from there. I'll give you a free 3-card reading, and we'll do a free reading from there if that's what you would like. So I want to share a little bit of my thoughts on where to go with this podcast from here. I was watching Seth Andrews this week he does a Thinking Atheist, and I will leave that link on the. I'll leave that link for you to follow up if you're interested to see Seth Andrews, Thinking Atheist. He's a well-thought-out guy. I've listened to it frequently as I've kind of changed my orientation, my spiritual orientation, and he's been very helpful. This guy was so upset with the outcomes of the elections. I mean, he's losing sleep. He's anxious. He hasn't slept in 2 or 3 weeks. There's no need for that. I mean, you could take a look at some of his videos. He's really good. He's really a good commentator. And there's no need for all that. First of all, the new administration hasn't even taken power yet. They're making suggestions, and we have an idea where they're going. But so far, they really haven't done anything. I'm not very happy with the outcome worked out either. If you would like tarot readings specifically on the politics of what's going on, there's another link I'll have for you. I'll put it in there called Guiding Light with Marianne. She's out of Australia, and she's a really skilled psychic and a tarot card reader and astrologer, and she will do specific readings on American politics. Actually, she's quite good. And just like me, she totally missed the election. I forget what she put up there as an apology or an excuse, but a lot of us just totally missed the outcome of the election. And like I said, although I continue to be a little anxious, I'm not losing sleep over this. And this is not where I'm going to go with John's Tarot podcast. Where I'm going to go is, okay, things are the way they are. And so how do we live in this new reality? What is the direction we can live in this new reality? And that's how I'm going to direct this podcast in the future, is how do we direct this new reality? How do we live in this new reality? Because there's no changing it. Things are the way they are. I've given you some references on people to take a look at as you move forward. Another guy to take a look at on how do we live in this new reality is Reverend Ed Trevors. And I'll leave a link to him too. Although I am not a Christian, I like Ed Trevors. He is really a spiritual guy, and he gives some good advice, good spiritual advice. It's kind of universal as far as I am concerned, on how to on how we should look at the what's coming up in the future. My podcast is not for everyone. Not everyone is going to relate to the things I'm going to do, because the advice I'm going to give is the advice that's given me. I'm going to use the tools I have available, which are the tools of divination. So this is not going to be for everyone. And I don't mean to, this is strictly for entertainment. I'm not I have a little bit of ability, and I'm going to use that, and I'm going to share it with you. This is not for everyone. In fact, I am not even going to promote this. In the past, I would put tags with each of my podcasts, to get hits. I don't care if I get hits or if I don't get hits. this is going to be more of an underground podcast. And what I mean by that is people who are attracted to it. And I had a number of people attracted to it. I think I had 128 views last week. People who are attracted to it, okay, cool, enjoy. And that's how it's going to be. If you're attracted to what I'm going to talk about, that's the audience I want to speak to. I'm not going to. I'm not looking to be a internet success. I'm not looking to be a success for the entire world. I'm only here to give advice to those who are interested, who are attracted to it. I see I got one viewer. Welcome to John's Tarot Podcast. And like I said, it's going to be somewhat of an underground thing. I have a couple websites, JohnsTarot.net and JohnsTarot.com. And if I deem to post things up there which are not appropriate for Twitch or not appropriate for YouTube, I could post things up there. So I have a little bit more freedom than I did before. I'm not trying to fall within any certain parameters for anybody. I'm not planning, I talked about I'm not planning to talk about Donald Trump or his policies. I'm planning to talk about how to survive Donald Trump and his policies. And I'm going to use the divination tools I have available. Some advantages to what I'm having. I talked about advantages, independence, and my websites. I can post anything I like up on websites. I'm going to talk a little bit now about how accurate are these divination tools I have available. I had gotten past guidance. I continue to work as an ICU nurse. And we're just coming out of a pandemic, right? And during that pandemic, I was also doing some ambulance transports during that period of time. I've been doing ambulance transports for a number of years, like 10 years. And I was continuing to move forward to ambulance transports. I remember it was really spooky during the pandemic. I'd be driving home and there was like no cars on the freeway. People were not coming out. And at a certain point during the pandemic, my little oracles advised me, hey, you know what? It's time to drop the ambulance work. So I let it go, feeling it was just getting too dangerous. And during the pandemic, like I said, I worked on ICU. I worked with COVID patients. I was very concerned about the health of my family. And am I going to bring some of this home? Is there going to be a problem? During the entire pandemic, I didn't catch it. And to this day, I haven't come down with COVID-19. I can only, some of that is my own common sense, my own training, my own professional expertise, and some of it was the advice I got from my little divination things, my little divination help, my divinatory help. What I have been told so far about this current situation is that I need to just retreat. Retreat does not mean surrender. I'm going to back away from. I'm going to back away from a number of things. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about Donald J. Trump and his policies. I'm not going to talk about my opinion on him. I'm going to retreat from all that. The I Ching talks about retreating like into the center of a mountain stream that's on the interior of a mountain. And I'm just going to sit and wait and observe and be quiet. And when I say retreat, I have retreated in a number of ways. I used to like to quote, I would say, go do intellectual battle on MSN or on social media. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going out on MSN to comment. Once in a while I'll make a comment, but it's really kind of loose. I'm not taking the Trumpers on. Just let it go. I'm going to back away from all of that. Also, I've gotten rid of TikTok. That was a trigger for me. I just kind of have backed away from that. As far as news goes, that's definitely not a Fox News viewer. I'm backing away from any of that. I'll take a look at the news sites just to get a general idea of what's going on and what things do I need to be concerned about. Like I said, for right now, there's a lot of talk but no action. These people are not in power yet. They're not enforcing policy yet. We know things are coming up, but there's no use for me to be anxious, and there's no use for you to be anxious. So retreat is not surrender. Retreat is just kind of backing away from the situation when you see the forces are too powerful to take on, and just wait for a more opportune time. Those are the things I've done. No more TikTok. I got completely rid of that. I'm on Blue Sky, but I haven't really been posting on Blue Sky yet. I'll see. I know that Marianne from Guiding Light, she's on Blue Sky, and a lot of people have gotten off of a lot of the, they've gotten off of what's Elon Musk's X. A lot of people have abandoned X for Blue Sky, and that might be a suggestion for you to do. I talked about doing some free readings. One way I can do readings too is if you want a reading on, if you want a personal reading, you could still get a hold of me, and we could do something more extensive. I'm here on Twitch right now to do free readings for anybody who's interested, and I'll do a simple 3-card reading for you. If you want something more extensive, contact me on my websites, and I'll spend some time with you on. I have this program called StreamYard, and we could do an online interview and do some online readings, and you could spend some time. Make an appointment with me. We could spend some time, a half hour or whatever you think you need, and to address your questions. Let me move over to my tarot cam. There we go. And like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to run today, 15, 20 minutes, whatever I run. I also am going to try to repost John's Tarot in the podcast form. Like I was talking about last week, if I can do it for free, I'll do it for free. And I found a method I could do it for free. I could post up to 5 hours on this particular site. So I'll start posting up there, like I'll post this one, and that I'll just take down a post every month. Every week I'll just take down the oldest post that's up there, but all older posts will be available on YouTube. Any of the things that I think I don't want to post on YouTube will be on my websites. So here we go. If anybody would like a free reading, I got the chat room open. If you would like a free reading, I'm going to put it up here again. Chat room is open. So anybody on Twitch who would like one, I'm happy to do a free reading for you right now. So why don't we do this 1 week at a time? I'm used to living 1 day at a time. Why don't we do this 1 week at a time? And we'll ask the tarot for this week. And I do tarot in combination with Nordic runes. And that's just the way I do things. And we're going to ask just for this week, how can we lower the anxiety? How about that as a question? How can we lower the anxiety of the things going on, but I'm going to focus on the opportunities that are available. So the Ace of Rods talks about new beginnings, new starts, nurturing seeds to a new beginning. And Swallow has to do with success. So we need to focus on how to be successful during this upcoming period, this new era we're entering. Focus on how we be successful on this new beginning. And some of this new beginning can be too a new beginning on how we look at this, how we consider this, how we think about this. We need to make a new beginning there and realize there's going to be fresh opportunities. And how do we cash in on these new opportunities? How do we make this successful for us? Swallow. The Ten of Rods. Don't quit your job. Don't leave the country. Continue to work. Continue on your activities. Continue and remember, continue to look at your long-term goals. Don't be overwhelmed with your work. Just focus on what you need to do. Focus on what's right ahead of you. Don't focus too much on the future. Focus more on your personal goals. Where are you going? How are you going to get there? And that Langoose has to do with the tides. The tides, like the ocean tides. Tides roll in, tides roll out. You know, you want to look at the cycle we're in, how the energy is rolling in, how it's going to roll out, and kind of ride the tides. When things are going good, you're going to ride the tides on prosperity. When they're not going good, just lay back, let the tide roll out. As you focus on your work, on what you're doing, and what you need to do to get ahead. Four of Swords. You see a knight laying down there on looks like a tomb or a crypt, and that is kind of us. We need to take a rest, especially take a rest from our anxieties and our concerns, and think about the tomb has to do with not death. It has to do with the wisdom of our ancestors and how we can access the wisdom of our ancestors. How did they bypass difficult times? And we need to apply that into our lives. And if we do that, that is the right path. Radio has to do with being on a journey, being on the right path. So this is a journey. And right now, it's advising us just to take a rest. Don't get too excited over all this. And do some introspection. How would your ancestors handle something like this? What lessons can you learn from history about situations like this? And that is the right path for this week. So that is like all I'm going to do for this week. If nobody's up here on Twitter, would like a free reading on Twitter, you can contact me. Like I said, through my other sources, JohnsTarot.net, JohnsTarot.com. I'm eventually going to do, I think, some kind of online store with JohnsTarot.com. I'm working on this. This is all a work in progress. So until next week, be careful, be cool, be kind, and remember, have faith, find courage, and I'll see you all next week. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.